Hello, hope you're doing great. I'm Chinaza by name. So I'll be speaking to you on my suggestions on how to excel in your advanced taxation. Well, first of all, it's basically not only me, but I think so. Maybe you feel the same way. But I believe, especially those days in school, yeah, there's this phobia that comes with taxation. Whenever taxation is measured, especially in our 20 level, people have to complain, taxation is hard though. There are a lot of things so that the calculation is much, and there are a lot of things you have to know, there are a lot of rate, there are a lot of rules that you have to apply and know of it. Yeah, and this have to come with people taking that, oh, they cannot do this and this thing is hard. But one thing I've come to believe is that once you start believing that something is hard, straight up, that thing becomes hard for you, and you might not exceed or succeed in that thing. But if you believe that, okay, they start this thing is hard, but no, for me, I think I can do this. I can understand, I can read, I can remember, I can write something about it, and I can even interpret and teach somebody. And straight up, it becomes easy for you. So before I start with you on this journey, I want you to remove any negativity in your mind about taxation, on how hard it is, and believe that you can. You can excel in this course, you can smash it, and I believe you can. And basically, you have written taxation in your skill level. So forget the advanced taxation in the professional level. Forget the advanced. There's nothing advanced there, but I believe that you can. So I'll be walking you through a bit some tips about how to pass and essay in your taxation. It's all of them are all my opinion, which I feel like sharing, and I believe that one way or the other you'll pick something, and I hope you pick something that will help you, and I'm really rooting for you. And as we all know, like each course have its own weighting. Like for advanced taxation now, the tax administration and taxation of business and investment income has 40% weight. International taxation has 20% weight. Tax management and planning 20% weight, and then taxation of income and extractive industry has 20% weight. Then and there's likelihood that this weighting now is content group of topics, and this advanced taxation have like 31 topics. Yeah, it's much, right? I know, but then just if you are reading, balance yourself. At least read for me, have knowledge for me, have knowledge from you. The group of topics that contain each of this weighting, and being able to gather something. And sure, they may likely like to ask questions from each of these four group, but then we are not certain where the question will come. It can be predictable, but we are not certain, because I can control bomb something that is unpredictable. But then it's better than be safe, right? So I'm going to walk you through what I feel like really helps me. First of all, you will realize that in ICAN, like this advanced taxation is mostly theory. Yeah, it's mostly theory, I know, right? So and they're basically like few calculation, maybe 70 to 30. 30 is just calculation. But then in exam question, at least you are sure to see like 3 to 4, even 5 calculation. And basically this calculation comes just from 5 topics, I think, so out of the 31 topic. Or maybe the basic calculation. You have your petroleum profit tax. They are small but mighty. You have your company income tax. You have your capital gain tax. You have your global adjusted profit. Then also your double taxation. Now you just have to know these calculations at your own tip, so that they are the things that help you pass exam. Because if they ask you theory and you don't know it. But this calculation, you can be able to answer something, know the format, and earn your mark. Now that's one of the secrets, right? So for your petroleum profit tax, know the format, know always to put your title in each question, then know how to get your sales from export, know how to get your G factor, know how to get your from oil or natural gas, know how to calculate or what to remove as expenses, know how to get your educational tax, know how to get your assessable profit, know how to get your petroleum investment allowance. Yes, applying your 5%, depending on the fifth, 100, above 100, below 200, above 200. Also, know how to get your capital allowance restriction. Yes, which is 85% of accessible profit minus 107% of petroleum investment allowance. Whatever you get, then you not be the lower of the capital allowance given and the figure you quote, which will be your capital allowance for there. Then after that, you now charge your 85% on the chargeable profit. Know this calculation and know the format. You are good to go with PPT calculation. Then for company income tax, know your allowable and non-allowable. Know the format, know how to do your net profit, then do your adjustment, also do your capital allowance restriction. Depending whether the company is exempted or not exempted, then get your chargeable profit and then know the rate. Also take concern of whether the company is a small company, a medium company, or a large company. To know whether you use no rate, 20%, 30%. And one thing about taxation is the law keep watching it. So make sure that you are updated with the law. Like this tertiary education tax that have moved from 2% to 2.5, VAT that have moved from 5% to 7.5. So know all these changes in tax. That's one of the peculiar things about taxation that make it that it's hard. No, it's something that keeps on evolving and keep updating yourself. For the capital gain tax, which is like a likely on a normal they're likely ICAN question because there are things there. It's that they ask you normal capital gain tax, which is your sales minus your sales proceeds minus cost. You get your capital then charge your 10%. Or they ask you about rollover relief. And it's your ability to interpret the question to know when there is no rollover relief, partial rollover relief, and full rollover relief. You should know all this. Then also know how to get capital gain on partial disposal. That's one thing about capital gain tax. And also when the capital gain question have to do with goods purchased on hire purchase to get your cash installment paid so far. Learn much about that and know how to get those things. Then for your double taxation, know how to get your commonwealth rate, know the rate to use, whether you say resident company or non-resident company. The same thing with global adjusted profit. Know how to get your adjusted net profit and adjusted depreciation. Just know all these calculations. If you know this calculation that I've mentioned, trust me, you are good to go. Then on your reading, it's advised to start reading on time, start reading early, so that people can cover. See, taxation is big, up to 31 topics, but if you start reading on time, you can be able to cover from the beginning to the end. I know it may not be practicable, but if you believe and you can, in the beginning, you might not be understanding what you are reading at the first stage, but if you are reading second time, or if you are attending tutorial, you will be able to open your mind and learn more. And then the theory, they will not ask all the theory, but it's the one you know, try to know it too, so that if in case that it comes out in the exam hall, you're able to hold it and use it to gather your mark. Do you get? Another thing that from reading, especially for taxation, I advise using past question. You know that taxation is not just like other questions, you can just go straight and start solving the question. No, you have to understand, because that's one of the things about taxation. You would think that you know it, you have read and you understand, but then taxation have to do more of your presentation of your question. Yes, because most time if there are 7 questions, 5 of them are reports. Now that's where your report writing skill come into place. For you to know where there is internal report, which normally come in form of memo, and when there is external report, which have to come with letterhead, and then address to who. Then put your head in your subject, then put the brief statement. Sometimes you come in form of patron profit tax, calculate the patron profit tax of so and so company, calculate the company contents of so and so company in a report format. So basically, in the body of your letter, you then like subsequent to your email, so and so, the company tax for ABC company is so and so. This can be found in the appendix attached. Most time, all these calculations will now enter appendix. That's your workings. So that's how sometimes you have to do the workings first before you write the report. So you can leave a page, then go to the next one and solve the calculation, and come back and write your report. Okay, so use past question and see how the question, especially those calculations, see how it's being structured. It really helps. It have helped me. Well, others, I can't really recommend any book, because for me, I believe that ICAN cannot go beyond that pack, and I believe that that pack is very rich. So I use mostly pack and calculation. Then from my tutorial classes. So this is basically what I use, and it have worked for me. I've not gone to try another book or any another book they can use about taxation. ICAN pack taxation was okay for me. It was very comprehensive, and I used and it worked for me, and I passed my taxation. And I really believe you too, you can also use it and pass. So basically that's all you have to do. Then on the exam day, start from the known to the unknown. Don't go and ask compulsory question that you don't know, where you have a 20 or 15 marks question that you can go and gather your mark. Now in exam, I used to feel like I'm struggling for my mark. Yeah, so anywhere I can see and attract mark, I'll just leave the question I don't know. I just leave the question I don't know and continue from the one that I know. I just leave the question I don't know and continue from the one that I know. That's For the one that I know, I will answer it very well. I know that I've gathered that mark. If it's 15 mark, go and answer another 15 mark. Then after that, I will now go and keep myself in those ones that I don't know, even if it's compulsory question. Make sure you gather your mark as you are answering for your mark. And then try to attempt all the compulsory questions. Please try to, whether just try to write them something. That's why it's good that know your calculation, know your theory, even when the theory comes from. So as far as you have read it and you have a knowledge about it, just write down something. I believe ICAN is write down something. Whether you know it or don't know what you're writing, as far as you have an idea. Taxation is kind of an economic world, what that happens everywhere. Just write down something, and you are good to go. And finally, prepare well. I wish you retentive memory, and also believe in God factor. So I pray for success and wish you success. And I believe you are intelligent. You can do this. There's no big deal about it. And once you set your mind in anything, you can pass. You are intelligent and you are smart. And I believe you will excel in this course. So I'm rooting for you. Congratulations in advance and success in your exam. Thank you. And take good care of yourself. Thank you.